Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast Season 2, Episode 9, The Evil Dead 2. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast, so what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. and if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast. We talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. live on Twitch. I am your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with other head camp counselors. Let me go around the room here. We got Jake. Felt like someone just walked on my grave, Pinkston. Jake, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing just capital. Thank you for asking.
Fuck
And
yeah.
how are you doing?
I'm
Nobody
good.
ever asks you how you're doing.
I'm good,
He's
man.
right.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm
Good.
feeling
Excellent.
groovy.
Can I ask you how you're doing?
Feeling groovy. I'll tell you that much right now. We also got Jay. Who's laughing now, McClintock? Jay, how are you, sir?
I am well. I'm very excited. I'm
What?
having a good day.
Fuck yeah, let's talk some Evil Dead 2. Next, we got David. Recite the passages. Dispel the evil. Save my soul. Jessup. David, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking and things.
Yeah, welcome to the cast. And next, we've got Ethan. Give me back my hand. Give me back my hand. Eastwood, Ethan, how are you?
I got a little bit of a buzz going on right now, Ducko, so I'm doing
Good.
pretty damn good.
Good. Join the crew. We're all buzzing. We're all on chemicals of some sort. And finally,
Looks like
we've got... Oh, go ahead, Jake.
No, it looks like Ethan's got himself a little growth in the facial hair, too.
Yeah.
I know. I've been working on it. Me too, man.
Going beard,
I'll be-
bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's get it. Me too, bro.
And finally,
Awesome.
we got Javi. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul, Myres. Javi, how are you, sir?
That's the best one, dude. Tommy gets the best ones. It's
I'm
awesome.
splendid, Ducko.
Fuck yeah. Welcome to the cast, guys. We are about to talk some Evil Dead 2, so let's get down to some descriptors of this. With the release March 13th, 1987. Budget $3.5 million with a box office of $10.9 million. Quick synopsis, it's not that quick. A young man named Ash takes his girlfriend Linda to a secluded cabin in the woods where he plays back a professor's tape recording reciting passages from the Book of the Dead. The spell calls up an evil force from the woods which turns Linda into a monstrous deadite and threatens to do the same to Ash. When the professor's daughter and her entourage show up to the cabin, the night turns into a non-stop, grotesquely comic battle with chainsaw and shotgun on one side, demon horde, and flying eyeball on the other. So,
Maurice Sendak.
that is a long, long synopsis. I apologize. But the movie is basically a retooling of the first movie. So this is one of the first remakes that ever came out. Let's chat about our history with it, starting with Jay. Jay, Evil Dead 2, when did you see it first? What's your history?
I was 8 years old. It was October 1989. It was a Friday the 13th. It was a double feature on Cinemax with this playing right after Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1. First time I saw it, it literally scared me to death. I was 8, so the humor didn't quite get to me the first time I saw it. And then I was lucky enough to see it a few years later after I saw Army of Darkness, and it was like a great palate cleanser so that I could like savor this movie just without, any sort of apprehension. So yeah. And I was
Recording in progress.
Sorry.
So,
I am running.
I guess he's recording.
Yeah, my bad. So, so the first time you saw it, did it scare you or did you laugh?
no, first time I saw it, it scared the shit out of me. I was
Yeah.
young. The humor was not. I was completely lost on me because you got people getting cut up with chainsaws. That's just not something for. That's just not something for 8-year-old eyes, man. And your girlfriend, no less. In the
Yeah.
first 10 to 20 minutes, I'm like, this is not how you break up. At least I don't think. But yeah,
All right,
Jake
Jake.
goes there.
Jake, what's your history with the movie?
Probably. I mean, I've known about it like since. I mean, I saw the first one whenever I was younger. I knew about the second one. I didn't really watch it until I was like 18 or 19. I'd watched Army of Darkness before Evil Dead 2, actually.
That's
whenever
very
I watched-
common. That's very common.
I watched Evil Dead 2 later on, and I loved it. I realized it was camp at the moment. I had heard people talk about it before, saying it's just a retooling of the first one or whatever else. But I'm a fan of old school movie making, and they used every trick in the book on this movie.
They made up a couple new ones,
like
probably.
miniature models to fucking matte paintings. Like, I mean, just everything that you could think of in movie making they did in this movie. So I liked it. I mean, it was dope.
Yeah.
That's my experience.
And whereas the first movie was more of a student film, this was an actual studio production, and it shows. The production's a lot better, but at the same time, what a fun.
They got that Dino De Laurentiis money, man.
Is that who made it?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
he gave him a lot of financial backing for the movie.
Yeah, it's fucking. I love this movie. It's so good. David, what's your history with the movie?
I saw this movie when it came out.
Yes!
Hello Town, yeah. I had no idea. I didn't know Evil Dead 1 existed. I had never seen it. So Evil Dead 2 came out, went and saw it with my friends, and we were high as fuck.
Yeah.
And, dude,
What?
From the get-go, we were laughing our asses off. And we had no idea what this movie was going to be about, but we had so much fun. We went back the next night to watch it again, and it was because it was such a surprise. We had no idea what it was about. Because if you're told by people you got to watch this movie, it's hilarious, it's insane, it's bonkers. But man, going in expecting a real horror movie and then getting groovy, just getting utter chaos and just hilarity. It was so awesome.
So you went in expecting to be scared, and instead you were brought into this.
I was just laughing my ass off.
This acid trip of a Tom and Jerry.
Right from the first stop motion, a voiceover of the back in the days of the Book of the Dead. I was just laughing from day one with the stop motion and everything, and it just goes on. I mean, this movie does not wait around. It is just like, oh, we're in a cabin, and oh, look, I'm going to get some champagne. That's weird. I didn't realize there was a tape recorder here when I played the champagne earlier, but now there is. Let me hit play. Boom, stop motion ballerina head tucked off. I mean, just right off the bat, chaos. So, love it.
It's a freight train of a movie. It just plows through. It's fucking wonderful. Javi, what's your history with the movie?
Oh, man.
Picture it.
Picture it.
Scene.
Young Javi. We're talking 1993, quite possibly 6 years old. I'm not too sure. But like Jay, this movie also scared the shit out of me. Just like the first one scared the shit out of me. There's like a lot of, when I was a kid, like certain scenes, like the fucking moose head, like turn to the camera and start laughing maniacally. That whole fucking thing, that scared the shit out of me. There's just something very disturbing about that shit.
It's not a moose.
That's kind of cool. It's like a little thing that would not scare like anyone in particular, but like for you, it's such a trigger. That's so cool to hear, man.
But it's not a moose, is it?
fun.
It's a deer.
No,
It's a fucking
like
deer.
an
It's got
deer.
antlers and shit, but just the fact that it was like super quiet, that all of a sudden it just like turns to the camera and starts going like that. It's like little shit like that. As well, oh my god, I'm uncomfortable right now, but I'm still gonna continue with this movie. And I felt that would even, but like Jake, I also saw Army of Darkness before I saw Evil Dead 2. But like those first two, they just fucking wrecked me. Like I was like, this is terrifying. It wasn't until I got older that I actually saw the comedy, and I was like, oh, I don't know why I was scared of this. I was such a pussy back in the
Dude,
day.
watching it today, I will get into it. Ethan, what's your history with the movie?
Same story as last time. Duck is my history with the first two Evil Dead movies. We watched the first one, then followed that up with the second one. I love this movie just as much as the first one, honestly. I still think it's kind of dumb that this is a requel. I don't know of any other series that remade and then expanded on and continued a movie in its series. That's pretty new, but a great fucking movie either way. So I love this one.
Yeah, and the reason they had to do that is they couldn't get the rights to the original movie, so they just did a truncated beginning of it.
So the Evil Dead and then Evil Dead 2, that was different enough.
Don't
Just
forget
drop the
Dead by Daylight. That's
Dead by Daylight.
You gotta remember that. Dead by Daylight. Dead by
Dead by
Daylight.
Dawn.
Dead by Dawn.
Dead by
My
Dawn.
bad.
Dead by
I was
Dawn.
saying Dead by Daylight because alcohol.
That's all right.
My
You're good.
history with the movie, my friend Big Nick, the metalhead, if you will, and the amazing band Neocracy, go check them out. He introduced me to this. This is a metalhead movie. All metalheads fucking love the Evil Dead trilogy, and so I was introduced to it. I was a punk rocker, but we always hung out with the metalheads. And just the second one, I think I watched it stoned out of my mind, and I think I was scared, but I don't really remember. But I remember by the time the deer head was laughing, or the moose, if you will, I was laughing my ass off. And even watching it today, I've never realized how fucking hilarious this movie is. I was literally laughing to myself the entire time watching it. It is a fucking ride because I've always been on the side of this is more scary than funny. Total 180 on this. This is just hilarious. There's nothing scary about this movie except for maybe the dancing girl with the head falling off. That's a little bit scary. But by the
I don't
point,
know. It's got some good gore in it. That's kind of it'll make your skin crawl.
The movie cheats a lot because it jump scares you, and I've always remembered that. Like, and when the jump scares were coming, I was a little bit like this earlier because I didn't want to fuck around with them too much. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I think this movie is not as good as the first one, though. I will say that, but we can debate that later on. With that said, let's get into the movie. David already did the introduction of talking about how the movie starts and how it is a recreation kind of the original movie up until the point where he plays the tape and we get the incantation and the demon arises from the woods and comes in. I love that they still use those effects. The camera coming in
Through the
across
woods. Yeah, just being pulled through real fast. Running through the woods essentially is what it. Yeah.
But you pointed out something I didn't even realize. That was all miniatures, right? Did they really use a cabin, or was all the cabin stuff in this one miniatures? I wasn't.
No,
sure.
I think that was real. The
They did both.
miniatures. Yeah, I was going to say. Well, I know the bridge that they cross over at the very beginning. That's an obvious fucking model miniature.
But when they have the trees attacking the cabin, that's a miniature cabin.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until I was watching it. I was like, holy shit, that's miniature, right on. Because the trees were like creepy Halloween face trees. But was this the first thing to ever do creepy faces on the trees? I know that they copied it in Mortal
Wizard of
Kombat.
Oz, bro.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. You're right.
Can I ask you guys a question?
What you got?
After like seeing this movie, however many times you have, I've probably seen it literally probably about 20 to 25 in my life. So about twice a year, or once every couple years. Y'all ever get the feeling when you're watching Ash's evolution through the movie, it almost kind of feels like a video game, in that each thing he takes on gets
Levels up.
progressively harder. And I think that kind of lends itself to a little bit of that sword and sorcery, like Jason and the Argonauts type thing. That's why the stop motion. So I think I like the fact that it makes the difficulty go along with the comedy. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't.
It paces really well.
that, but yeah, that's
Pretty good fucking
Yeah.
take.
Well, I mean, like the last boss is a giant tree monster, and before that, it's like a snake-headed lady. I mean, like Ash is definitely he's leveling up.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
it's like
It's getting
that,
power ups too with the chainsaw and shit.
Right.
Absolutely.
the
It's
great
so-
video
yeah.
game, the great, awesome, evil, scary video game, Dead Space, where as you're the space miner, you have to level up your equipment the harder the monsters get. And so yeah, it has that same vibe of him. Okay, I got a shotgun. Now I've got a chainsaw. Now I've got a chainsaw on my hand.
bro.
It
That's
goes up
Doom,
and up.
also.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
heavily,
100%.
heavily.
Well, you
Yeah.
got to look at it this way, too. He has a mental breakdown. By the point that he's cracking up and the entire room is laughing at him and he's dancing with the light, you know what I mean? He's lost it. That's the breaking point, in his mentality. That's when the batteries drop, where he accepts this crazy reality that he's part of. And once he becomes part of that crazy reality, he becomes the hero it needs. And he goes to that next level and he's just like, boom, baby, groovy,
Groovy.
Real
Yeah,
quick.
and also Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell have no idea how chainsaws work.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
Real-
I can suspend my disbelief, but goddamn.
Real quick, we got Happy Slappy 70 in the chat chatting us up. They say they should have put Gwar in this movie. Number one, Gwar always makes every movie or stage production better. And number
For
two,
sure.
Happy
They
Slappy
really
says,
elevated Empire Records for their one scene. So
Yeah, they
I agree
did.
with this.
We want you to join the band, Mark.
Who has all seen Gwar in concert? I've seen Gwar before. Have you guys
I
ever
have
seen
not.
Gwar?
No.
If they ever come through, I don't know if they're together anymore, but we should go see
They
them.
are.
because-
They're still touring.
Yeah, that's a bloodbath and a half. You are going to get soaked. It's so much fun. It's ridiculous. But
ICP concert.
what to a what?
That's nothing.
I thought you said
ICP.
He said ICP.
I would
Go.
not be surprised if those crowds ran in very
What?
similar
They
circles.
do.
What is agenda? No. I would go. They did the Great Malenko, dude. Hey, nice ceiling fan. All right, back to the movie. So where do we really go with the conversation? Is this a remake of the original, or is it just that small portion? You know, like it does follow similar beats to the original movie. in
It's
lot
a
of ways.
remake plus. So it's a remake, but stuff has been added to it.
The requel.
Yeah,
I like the fact
Ethan
from-
said requel. I like
Requel. Yeah.
Think about it, guys. From the opening scene, what's the very first scene that you see when this movie opens?
Driving through the
that.
tunnel.
Driving.
No, you see a flower like growing, and I
Oh,
feel
gotcha.
like in a lot of ways he was trying to like tell people, hey, this is kind of like the original movie, but like we sprinkled some magic dust on it. Like you can definitely tell where the money went in this movie. Like it was none of it was wasted. You know, like it was so everything seems so focused. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it
so I
all,
feel like
it all went to torturing Ted Raimi.
Yeah. Oh, and that guy. Have y'all seen the behind the scenes of the makeup?
Yeah, we were watching it earlier. Jake watched it and I watched it, and it's absolutely insane what they put Ted Raimi #1 through.
Oh my god!
'cause he was-
I just watched it too. Yeah.
He
is
played Henrietta, which was the mother creature in the basement. And I knew it was Ted Raimi from the second he popped up. I was like, Jockster, fuck yeah! let's go."
Right.
But it's
Fake ass shit, motherfucker.
It's so crazy though that like they literally had to pull the latex off him at night. That's how bad the makeup was stuck to him. And like he would sweat so bad, they showed in the making like they would drain his foot and it would just be like sweat all over the floor, like a pile of it. But he was 20 years old. He gave the movie his all, and it shows in his performance. Like Henrietta is a fun ass evil villain, and then also Jake. It's not Jake. It's the other guy. What's his name? I can't think. That gets turned into the Deadite with the teeth. Like the
Evil
teeth-
Ed, bro.
Evil Ed,
That's
yes.
Ed.
Yes. That's Evil Ed is the shit. Like that is some scary stuff. David, you just made that diorama with Evil Ed and
Yes.
Ash and stuff. And
Fuck
like,
yeah, dude.
like it's just so iconic, like that. And that diorama, if you haven't got a chance to see it, head over to Children of Dave on
Oh,
Instagram.
it's
I'll bring it
That's
over. I
badass.
have it right here. I'll bring it over and show you guys later.
Fuck yeah, it's so badass.
Awesome.
So,
What I was gonna say is this movie's kind of like an LSD or a mushroom trip in a lot of ways. The way that it deals with the camera and like the house itself. Like if you've ever taken LSD or mushrooms, you know people talk about the room breathing. And like there's kind of that going on, and like the shifting of the room, and just like how the atmosphere changes. And that's all I could think was like as this movie continues on, it begins very, very subtle in the way that it's filmed, and nothing crazy is happening. And then you get all the camera techniques. And one of my favorite things is whenever they're turning their head and looking for the sound, and they're chasing the sound for the thing that's coming through to the other side. All I could think is that is one of the worst trips you could be on. It was horrible. If you've taken drugs in this group, would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, this
yeah, I've
definitely
taken
is
a lot
bad
of
trip.
acid. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I would
this-
say more. This is more acid, less mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is totally fucking acid.
Yeah.
You fucking think the worst thoughts ever if you go on a bad tangent. And I was like, dude, this is just like a bad acid trip. Like you see, whenever he sees this fucking old lady out there dancing with her fucking head staying in place and the body spinning around and shit. It's like,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, dude. But it comes back and he can't get out of the fucking chair and he's yelling. He's like, oh, and then it's just like, okay, I'm just tripping. And he gets up and he goes on another thing. And I can't tell you how many times I cut off my hands doing acid.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They grow back every time.
Yeah,
I
of course.
honestly wonder if that whole scene where he was watching her dance and shit, if they took that, if that was like a little bit of an homage to Eraserhead.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I can see that maybe.
Totally see that.
That dancing scene though, that stop motion, it looks terrible, and I absolutely love it. It looks so bad, like,
Yeah.
and it reminds you when the movie was made. You know, it reminds you it was released in '87. But at the same time, what a fun thing when she jumps off into the woods and she's like, ah! I laughed my ass off. I was like, yes, I can't wait to clip that and show that later.
I like the claymation too. with what they did with the hand. That
Yeah.
looked like claymation to me.
I was
What
gonna-
do y'all think it was, or do you think it was something else?
There
No,
was
still
definitely
stop motion.
the stop motion.
Oh,
that-
so it wasn't
yeah.
clay at all?
Well,
might have been.
yeah, it might have been clay. Yeah, when the hand
I'm
was
just
moving,
wondering.
or
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that Tom Sawyer claymation special that came out in the 80s. It kind of looked like it did the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, whatever.
We got to talk about the hand too, because I did not know this until I watched that documentary. This movie was written to be a combination of The Evil Dead and a short film called The Hand, where it was about a hamburger helper that went evil, I think is what they said. Is that right? And
Yeah.
Oh my
and that's
God.
what it was. And so they took scenes from that short film, literally the hamburger helper flipping off the main character, and they implemented that into the scenes in this movie. And the hand becomes its own character. And even more so, they took inspiration from the movie Idle Hand, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, with the evil possessed hand. It's so freaking cool. But
Idle Hand took
Inspiration
from
this.
this, yes,
Evil Dead.
from Evil Dead. And I always think of when I think of this movie, I think of the hand, and when I think of the third movie, I think of the mini ashes that are running around causing all kinds of trouble.
That's pretty
Oh my
iconic.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but like that's what each of the movies does something different. The first movie, the villains are really the deadites that possess. In this movie, it really just becomes the cabin itself is the villain, and all the weird, wacky shenanigans it gets into. And about that point where he cuts off his hand, like whenever the hand is crawling away and dragging him along towards the thing, you're like, oh, he's in so much trouble. And then Ash just comes out and slams it down. And the fact that he actually chainsaws his hand off and the blood splurts, that's where you're like, I think that's where the batteries drop in this movie.
Oh, it's
That's
such
a man
cool
I could
moment.
follow. That's
Yeah.
a man I could call king.
Oh,
Like-
I'm telling you. What a badass. That's the other thing is he doesn't really get his iconic lines until later in the movie. And then he gets all of his truly iconic lines in the third movie. That's where he gets the one-liners. So you see the character change quite a bit. We talked before about, do we feel like this movie is a direct descendant of the first movie? Jay, you said that you feel like they do take place in the same universe. Is that correct?
It's dude. You can edit it any way you want, but yeah, it's definitely a juiced up remake.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you guys feel like they take place in the same universe at all? The first movie and the second movie? Javi, do you feel that way, or do you feel like it's a remake too?
I'm kind of with Jay. It's like it's just a souped up remake.
Yeah. Across the board, we all kind of feel that way, I think.
I mean, I'm sure there's a really crafty way you could edit the second one into the first one, but
Why?
yeah,
Why?
there's so many differences and things that
Well, they're already
there wouldn't be
missing
a
two
point.
characters right off the bat.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's like it's kind of its own thing, but we had the same characters. I mean, it's the first reboot probably.
Well, it really just
Yeah.
becomes a series of shenanigans, like I said. Like like everyone, I'm sure, has their favorite part of all the insanity that Bruce Campbell has put through. So, I mean, whether it be the hand, whether it be having to deal with the dancing girlfriend, the walls bleeding, like it's hysterical. Jake, what is your favorite part of the movie, you think?
I like, whenever he's like, give me back my fucking hand, or he's like, give me back my hand. The way he yelled that, it reminded me of, I think, Ted Levine took a little gravitas on that, whatever. He's like, give me back my dog, and Silence of the Lambs. Like, I got that fucking vibe from it. That was one of my, I mean, yeah.
You
that
won't know
or-
what pain is.
How about you, David? What's your favorite shenanigans that he gets into in this movie?
I love the hand. The whole hand scene is brilliant. Bruce Campbell does such an amazing job in that whole scene of making the hand this own creature and then just beating the shit out of himself. But my favorite scene is the way they make it look like the hand is dragging him across the floor.
Right.
It's such a cool shot. The way it's just dragging him.
And it looks painful with all the rubble on the floor and the broken, plates and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. How about you, Jay? What's your favorite shenanigans he gets into?
Man, it would probably just have to be the first big hit he gets, where that's the homage, the ultimate homage to the first movie. Like, if nothing in the entire movie is exactly like the second, that is the one scene you could almost say is shot for shot. So when he gets hit and then you see what happens after, it felt like that gave me Evil Dead 1 closure.
Right.
It made
Time
me
I
feel
saw
good.
it, I thought Ash was gonna get raped by the forest.
Right.
It's like, oh, is this? They changing it up this much? Well, maybe this is what's happening now. He's getting dragged out there.
And let's not forget he had to get his own makeup too, man. Don't
Yeah.
forget Bruce Campbell
Yeah.
was not he wasn't safe from the makeup chair.
Or the abuse of Sam Raimi, the director.
Oh yeah, he's
Just
he's
take
just
the shit off him. How about whenever he
whipping boy.
pops up out of the puddle and you see the demonic face with the big old eyes?
Evil
and-
Ash.
surprise. That's a
Yeah,
big
that was
surprise.
good.
Oh, that's a good scare too. Ethan, what's your favorite shenanigans of the movie?
Man, I love that bit at the beginning with Evil Ash. I love where he's going hysterical in the room and laughing, all that. But I'm with the other guys, man. The fucking hand where it's dragging him away and he finally ultimately just hacks it off. And oh, dude.
Isn't it funny how one watch and that doesn't disturb you anymore?
Yeah.
Right.
no.
Because
you
he
look
gets a
forward to
chainsaw
it.
out of it.
It's disturbing as fuck the first time you
Like-
see him hacking through his hand. But then after that, you're just like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Who's laughing now?
Well, I think he does such a good job acting in the scene. The hand becomes a different entity in that moment, and you're just like, that hand is a villain, and it's a deadite hand. Like it needs to.
Oh, it's all him, man.
Yeah.
That's what sells it. Oh.
that hand should have gotten a best supporting actor nomination.
Ranko. Javi, what's your favorite shenanigans of the movie?
Honestly, where he's thrown down and then he gets into fucking shit Clash of the Titans type fight with that creature with the long Beetlejuice neck.
Yes,
And
Beetlejuicean.
he's right.
that looked like a little bit like a Beetlejuice type scene. I wouldn't be
It does. Yeah.
And well, the only thing I know from like a little piece of what I guess fucking knowledge or something is that creature starts to leak early on in the fight, and you just see like a whole bunch of like fluid. That's actually Ted Raimi's fucking sweat
Yeah.
pouring out of that thing.
Yep.
Ugh.
I absolutely love it because I love the
Nasty.
sound bite. Swallow your soul, I swallow your soul, and he goes, swallow this. Boom! I love that ending. That is so fucking amazing. I also really like the walls bleeding because it does a version of that in the first movie, but like this is just so over the top. And
Crank 211.
and the thing that this movie does is it plays with reality in such a way because like the whole room is just covered in blood, and then it sucks back into the wall, and the room is clear again. And I just love the camera technique of just reversing that, and just like all the damage that was done is undone, and the character Ash has to stand there and deal with the reality of like, did that just happen? Did that not just happen? But like I said, he just kind of accepts reality, and once he does, I think going forward, especially in Army of the Dead, he doesn't give a fuck anymore. He becomes that character, and I think it shows that progression in this because it shows him with Linda in the beginning. Obviously, he really loved her, and it shows him with the girl at the end. He becomes kind of the ladies' man, and then later on, he's just pure ladies' man. Like he's just pure charisma, and I think he doesn't give a fuck anymore. And even going forward to Ash versus the Evil Dead, he is kind of that ultimate version of Ash. He's got the character down, and he becomes the Ash Williams that we all know and love. And I think it's that transition scene where he goes into the wood shop or whatever it is and gets locks the tool shed. Thank you. Locks his hand into the fucking chainsaw, pulls it down. Like you said, how does it work that way? And he gets his boomstick and he cuts it in half. Fucking Ash right there.
They did some soldering. They worked it out. I don't know what they soldered or what
They
they
did
did.
kinda-
but they did.
They turned him into MacGyver. They really did. They turned.
Yeah.
He's so resourceful in this one and the next one. Like he can do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, he's a real brain. He still works at
Yeah, I mean, in the fucking next movie, isn't he making like fucking shotgun shells and medieval times and
Yes.
shit?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's through the
Yeah.
power of alchemy. Praise. I'm just saying, like,
Praise.
Yeah.
He really does become a kind of horror MacGyver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for the kit dash? I mean the diorama.
Yeah.
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 Let's see it, man.
See it.
It's
It's-
still not glued all the way.
Are you putting finishing touches on it while we were talking?
Yeah.
Oh,
What a
look,
good
you've
time
got
to
the
do
mirrors,
What?
dude. That's fucking badass.
Dude, that's so
Oh, that's
fucking
dope,
dope.
man.
Can you,
And
yeah,
then
pull it up a
this
little
thing
bit.
right here. Let's see. You can see the
Holy
little
Now,
latch.
is that
Get
the
the fuck out of here.
under the
man.
latch? Is that the creature from the first movie?
No, it's from McFarlane. I think it's from it was Sleepy Hollow, the witch from Sleepy Hollow.
Still,
Nice.
But I
Dude.
built a extra layer underneath here, right here, so this actually has a hole in it. So when you look at it, you can see depth. So it shows her actually going down.
Post
Oh,
your
that's cool.
shit on our action figures, or I'm gonna post it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Greg-
telling you, they
Greg-
will fucking love that shit, dude.
Did you see the tape recorder right there?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fucking
yeah,
badass.
Look
Oh,
at
no,
it.
no,
You just
no,
dropped
no,
it.
no.
The Evil Dead's there.
And right, you see let's see if you can see it. The hand is holding the sacrificial sword or the knife thing.
The Kandarian dagger.
Kandarian
Yeah,
dagger.
Kandarian
Yeah.
Kandarian dagger.
Yeah.
That's what
There
Jay
you
said
go.
before, that the Kandarian dagger doesn't get enough fucking play.
Yeah, it should have been
Oh,
a
it's great.
playing part throughout.
Yep.
Yeah.
Greg
It's
says
a really cool piece.
the mirror scene was funny, and then he also Happy Slappy says that is a sick diorama, and you're breaking it. Guys, creature effects. This movie is full of them. Evidently, there were 750 shots in this movie. 107 were full of creature effects. Javi and me, I think we agree. Our favorite creature is the Beetlejuice looking thing. It's just fucking badass. I love the big cheeks on it. I just love the way it.
And how like the
transforms
one
into-
milky eye, like I had a bad case of cataract.
Yeah, and
Y'all
the
are
eye
talking about
pops
the
out.
fucking old lady that's in the basement,
We're
right?
talking about
Yeah.
Harrietta's second form, whenever she's
Ugh,
turning into
yes.
the
Yeah,
one thing.
it's really well done, but it's
Yeah.
disgusting.
What is how about you, Ethan? What's your favorite creature effect in this movie? Because
It's got to be the old fucking lady, man.
Yeah.
That's just,
Ted Raimi ended up.
and it makes it even worse now that you're telling me that, like, oh, it's fucking sweat pouring out of the suit. That's
Oh, you
disgusting.
should see it, dude. It was
Oh,
nasty.
God.
David, how about you? What's your favorite creature effect from this?
Oh yeah, Henrietta,
Henrietta.
by far is so good.
Henrietta.
How about you, Jake? What do you think? What's your favorite creature effect out of this whole
I
movie?
mean, yeah, obviously Henrietta is the best, but whenever they did Bruce Campbell up, I think they did a good job.
Cool
on
makeup,
that.
yeah. That
They-
they extended his cheekbones. And
Yeah, and
jaw.
his jaw, yeah, his
Yeah,
fucking chin
really
and
cool.
jaw and his cheekbones, like they just accentuated his features. The milk white contacts, and like you said earlier, whenever he jumped out of the puddle, like that was just, I mean, shocking. I guess I don't know.
When he jumps out of any corner of the scene, that's what happens a lot. Like he just like pops in out of nowhere.
I think
and
that
it's a
was the
jump
one
scare.
that I mean, kind of gave me the
Yeah.
most. I mean, I don't, yeah.
Well, he's not afraid to do it. He literally he'll like exactly how my screen looks right now. He'll frame it so that the person's on the left or the right, and all of a sudden the Muppet jumps in and scares the shit out of you. You're like, holy fucking Kermit the Frog over here. Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I also like the way that Bruce Campbell walks when he's like the evil Ash. Like he's got a
Real
weird
jerky.
jerky. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it makes me laugh every time.
It's
I see
almost
it.
like stop motion the way it moves.
Yeah.
Well, they speed the frames up and like take out a frame like every.
It looks weird as fuck.
Like
Yeah.
they take a frame out like every 16 seconds and then speed it up or some shit. I
Oh,
don't
that's
know.
awesome, dude. I bet that's be a great technique to get at something cool. looking. Is that what they did?
It looks like it. I've seen things that do that before. I don't know. I didn't do a deep dive on this one, unfortunately, this week. I usually do, but
It's all
I would guess that's kind of how they did it. Maybe took out a frame every couple seconds or something and then sped it up.
That'd be badass. Jay, what is your favorite technical? What was creature effect in this?
Creature effect.
Probably the first time I saw this, my favorite one was because the movies terrified me. Was when Ash finally gets to take down the tree, and this was the second movie. This movie came out the same year as Witches of Eastwick, and Jack Nicholson plays the big bad in that, and his final form is like this giant. So whenever I see like your protagonist go up against like some giant creature, I was like, look, the whatever in Star Wars, like
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. I think I was programmed to love watching, giant evil things go
Spawn.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my fave.
I like. What's the deal with the heads in it? The souls. The one head's Ash's head, isn't it?
I think so,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was an interesting, choice too, man. Having all those things like talking to them at the same time.
Yeah.
That's genuinely creepy. Like even though it's a hilarious movie, that effect is got some creep to it.
There were a bunch of choices in this movie, like using blue blood for the eyeball at the end. You know, when
Yeah.
everything else has been coated in red and black.
Yeah.
Like it's either like you're getting fucking tobacco spit on you, or fucking blood or motor oil, and then next thing you know, you got fucking blue fucking.
Right.
I don't know. That had to be like a choice on purpose, right?
Well, with this, there's like I talked about before. Supposedly, he got they were looking at jail time in England for the first movie because it was a video nasty, and so there's rumors that he made this one a comedy so that he wouldn't have that happen to him again, and that's a really good possibility because there is a 7-year difference between the movies because they went off and made other movies with the Coen brothers that didn't do so well, and so they're like, well, we can go back to the well and go back to Evil Dead and try it again, and that's kind of what we got from that. And they did the same thing when they went to Army of Darkness because I think there's an additional 6 years between this and Army of Darkness. I think it's 93 it came out.
He made
So-
Darkman in between Evil
Oh.
Dead and
Oh, that was
Army
so
of
good.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Ethan, we gotta watch
Fucking
Dark.
Liam
Yeah, we
Neeson.
need to watch that.
Oh,
Dark
dude.
Man
I want to
is
watch it with
awesome.
y'all. We
Yeah.
can do a group watch. Go
Yeah.
on.
I've actually never seen it.
Oh!
That makes two of us.
Oh,
That makes two of us.
Yes.
We need to do a watch party, fellas.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, Dark Man's where it's at, dude. That's a wild.
It's
movie.
it's African American, man. Please be racist. I'm so offended right now. You're canceled.
I knew it. Guys, anything else you want to say about the Evil Dead?
Dark
Is there anything
person.
we missed?
Dark person.
Anyone? Anything we missed about the movie?
The lead in into Army of Darkness, it's not exactly shot for shot, kind of like the first one doesn't lead shot for shot into the second, but honestly, it's one of those things that I didn't understand how they were going to get into Army of Darkness. I knew eventually it would go into medieval times just because Duck had said, oh, dude, you're going to love these movies. They're great. It gets so weird. And then over here, you go into, yeah. But fucking time travel out of nowhere. Evil
Why
Dead,
not?
man.
That's great.
Why not? Just, we've already fought trees. We've dealt with tree rape. We have zombies coming up out of nowhere. Blood pouring out of the walls. Time travel. Let's just throw that in there. I love it.
Time travel with armor that isn't fitting the people that's wearing the armor.
yeah, yeah. Hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the-
you look like and
it's
Sam
really-
Raimi, you look like a knight.
That's bad green screen too on the Deadite that comes in. The Deadite with the wings that comes in. That looks horrible.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love the.
Was it green
explosion.
screen or they used blue screen? I don't know on this one.
Yeah.
Either
so
way,
whatever.
I
it was,
love
it
this
looked
little cliffhanger thing, whatever it was supposed to be. It's so random, so dumb, but it was a great way to finish off the second movie.
And you bring up a good point. The continuity of the movies. I guess it really doesn't matter because each iteration of the Evil Dead breaks the continuity of the movie before it anyhow. So
Right.
what
He
fucking
was
difference?
working at the S Smart, but
Yeah.
then like
Well,
and
the
then at
third
the end
one
of the
goes
second
into-
one, they
Gives a shit.
loved him. At the end of the second one, he's considered a hero, and then he's immediately shackled. at
Yeah,
the
when it
beginning of
hit-
the third one.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the continuity doesn't really match up regardless what you do.
there is
So-
no continuity.
And
in
then
Evil Dead.
technically the third
And who
movie.
cares?
because it's all a fucking trip in
And
his
who
mind,
cares?
dude.
Yeah, he's taking an ass.
So it doesn't matter. Like none of this fucking matters. The continuity doesn't matter because he's all fucking imagining it anyways, right?
It's an like I said, it's an acid trip of a movie. So, anything else, guys, about the movie you want to talk about? Anyone?
Any other comments from you, Eraserhead?
Yeah.
Uh,
The whole Hobby looked at you like he's gonna kill you. You dead.
oh,
Get him, Hobbs.
well, everybody's ready to be done with this. I can tell.
No, man.
I gotta,
No, you all right? Where'd he go? All right.
He's
Oh,
he's
hello.
muted.
It's
He's
cool.
eating.
Oh, he's getting him some food.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
He's
Yeah.
eating steak,
bring
right?
some
I mean,
for the rest of us,
the
bro.
thing is that this movie
I'm good. I got
is,
nothing to say.
this movie is
Got some steak
fantastic.
for me?
It was so groundbreaking. It was so different. It launched the career of one of our greatest innovative directors of all time,
Mhm.
Sam Raimi, and
Real success
launched-
story.
Yeah, and launched the career of Ash, and launched a huge a series of Evil Dead films and TV shows. It's fantastic. It's sometimes when something is so good, it's really hard to break it down really because you're just like, well, fuck it,
Watch
everything
it.
worked.
Yeah.
It's a worldwide
It-
brand. It's a
it-
true
Yes.
worldwide brand.
really
It seems
is.
like
Video
it,
games, toilet
it-
paper.
it breathes new life every decade. It always finds a fan base every generation, it seems like.
Yeah.
That's why we
And-
get a Stars movie. That's why we get a video game.
And coming around
Amazing
in
action
October,
movie.
I am hoping, and I think it will happen. Look Theater every Halloween puts on the Evil Dead musical, and I'm hoping that we can get a field trip out to go, because in the first 2 rows you get covered in plastic because you get soaked in fake blood.
Gallagher's there?
Gallagher, aka Ash, is there, and you get soaked.
I want to go, man.
It's
I
gonna be
do
awesome.
love how Universal Ash is, because he's been in all kinds of media. I think my favorite non-Evil Dead property that he's been in was a comic series where it was Ash versus Marvel Zombies, where he like had to take the Necronomicon to reverse what happened, because apparently the Necronomicon was responsible for turning all the mutants into zombies. So it was like him and fucking Dazzler just trying to take on the Marvel like zombie apocalypse.
They
And
use
trying to reverse-
Dazzler?
Yeah,
That's great.
and she looked
That's
hot.
cool.
man.
I gotta ask this question real quick. Do you guys prefer the first or the second movie? And I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I love them both, but I think the first one's a better movie. Jake, what do you think?
I was gonna say first, but I don't. I like the action in the second one, honestly, but I like the first one because it's so earnest. Like it's trying to actually be something, whereas this one is just it's playing off of the first one, and it's camp and it knows what it is. They're like, let's just fucking throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And the first one had more vision to it, and I liked it.
They're so different too, while being the same in a lot of ways. They're so monumentally different, and like you said,
Night
this
and
one's
day.
pure camp and slapstick and just funny. Jay, what do you think? The first or the second movie?
This is unequivocally my favorite movie of all time. So I'm gonna give Evil Dead 2 the nod. It is
Of all time,
really is, man. Really my number
Okay.
one. Super favorite. I consider this the Empire Strikes Back of the Evil Dead series. I think
No,
it.
you're right.
that makes sense.
You're right. I go
think
back
it
with Star
is-
Wars and Empire.
You're right.
I think that it is. I think this movie needed to be as good as it was. I don't think it. I think it had so much. I thought it had a lot of focus. The more and more I watch it, everything's super deliberate. He fired people. He straight up fired people that didn't want to keep his schedule when he was making this movie. He did not care.
Did
Sam Raimi-
Weinstein make this?
Sam Raimi,
Oh,
and he was a beast. And I'm telling you, he needed this movie to be good. He really did, and I think it really delivered. I think he had a lot riding on it, and I just love it.
Real
Wasn't it
quick,
the
I
home
want to
run?
give a shout out to Dan Danz. He just popped in, said yo yo yo, and gave us a sub. So thank you, Dan, for doing so. We appreciate that.
Thank you,
As
Dan.
man.
So favorite movie of all time? I period done. Like you watch this twice a year, you said. So this
I
one-
watch this movie more than any other movie, on a regular basis. So
right on.
that's not it. I don't know what is.
That's high praise, especially from a horror fanatic like Jay. He loves
Yeah.
horror movies. So, David, how about you? The first or the second movie? What do you think?
I like the first movie better because it's a horror movie, but I respect the shit out of this movie because it spawned a worldwide brand.
Right on. Ethan, what are you thinking? First or second?
Oh God, I love both these movies, but the first one is definitely scarier. Second one though, that's the best one.
Yeah.
Second one is better than the first.
Right on. And Hobbs, what do you think? First or second? He wasn't
He's like,
prepared.
Me? Second movie all the way.
Second movie all the way?
Yeah.
You feeling that second love? Right
Yeah.
on. I think we recommend across the board. I don't even have to say it. So
Oh yeah.
that's a big recommendation from all of us. You got to watch it. You got to check it out. Watch them in order. We will be watching the third one next month. So definitely changes the game, different in every way, shape, and form. But you see that transition from horror to horror comedy to just a straight up comedy.
Straight up
I think the
comedy.
third one's just hilarious. So with that said, anyone else, anything you want to say about the movie before we get to clips?
Yeah. If you don't like this movie, you can go fuck yourself.
Okay.
All
enough.
right.
I'll go
Huh?
fuck myself then.
No, I don't like.
No, I love this movie.
If you like any Evil Dead, you can go fuck yourself.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast. All right, let's get to these clips.
Let's get it.
Can everyone see them?
Yep.
All right. Oh, we just got another one too. Somebody just subscribed, I think, because we just got a thing, but it doesn't say who.
Like and prescribe.
Hey,
Sweet.
Jake. Thanks for subscribing, bro.
Is that me?
Says Jacoba Fett.
Nice.
That's
All right.
weird.
Anyhow, the miniature bridge. We missed it. Sweet bridge, I said. I didn't realize that was a stop motion bridge, or maybe not a stop
I
motion.
really
No,
didn't
it's a-
do
it's just a
anything.
model.
I promise
Yeah, it's
some,
a model.
you
It's
know,
a
my
model.
shit right now.
All right, hamming it up.
What do you say we?
You might have
some
been gifted one
champagne,
there,
huh,
bud.
baby? Huh?
Oh,
Sure.
After all, I'm a man and you're a woman. At least last time I checked.
thank you.
Oh, buddy.
I love it, man. Bruce Campbell is pure charisma. All right, this scared the shit out of me. Did I get anyone?
Maybe the first time through, but
That's a cool
Love the
effect
witness.
right there.
Oh, such a great camera angle.
Boom! Just like a comic book.
Yeah, the angles were great.
All right, so here's the end of the first movie, leading into the second movie. He got hit. He's in the puddle.
God, it's just so cool.
That's so good. All right, regardless of the fact that it's nudity, I figured it's stop motion nudity, so I put it in here. I figure it's fine.
Why wouldn't it be? Actually, if you could stop this, I'm getting a little too hard.
Oh my god.
It's so awesome, though.
That's what I'm saying, though. They use every trick in movie making ever. Like, this is all stop motion claymation. And then they go inside and they cut to her real head. And they had to build a fucking a little set that looked like legs so her head could pop out of his fucking crotch, pretty much. Like, I mean,
You
Yeah.
just used every technique.
It's all incredible.
master class, yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Maybe that's why it holds up too, because the practical effects, people see that and they're just always, just amazed by what they put together. Because like that looks like crap. That looks terrible, but it looks awesome at the same time. You know what I mean? So
I'd rather watch shitty fucking claymation over shitty CGI any day.
Oh,
Agreed.
any fucking day.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That makes me
Yeah.
sound like an
Yeah.
old guy, but
Oh.
I would, yeah.
you're
fucking-
preaching.
oh.
You're preaching.
Back in my day, we used stop motion.
Look, okay, I take a little offense to this. I'm almost 40, but either way. So-
Hey, man, look, I just can't wait till you start peeing 5 times a night.
oh,
I'm there already.
oh, till
That's
fuck
already
you,
happened.
Gaza.
Just 5?
Yeah.
I peed 5 times since we were doing this. What are you talking about?
It's got a fucking brisk bottle down there, just working it out.
Yeah, I got a goddamn.
Gotta swap bottles every 30 minutes.
Gala. I got an office fucking water cooler down here that I'm using constantly. I got a catheter hooked up to it. It's just draining in there the entire time.
Laugh my fucking ass off. That was the name of the clip and what I'm doing.
Even now we have your darling Linda soul.
Great effect.
Yep.
Good job on that.
Fantastic.
You're going down.
This one, real fucking ugly.
Yeah.
I love the chalk outline of the chainsaw.
Yeah, they had to put. Yeah, exactly. Where'd the chainsaw
This is
go?
fucking
I
amazing.
love it. Love
Cuts
it.
itself and it dances with it. Oh,
Ugh.
That's so good. I had to cut it.
Don't see
down.
the Freddy. Don't see the Freddy glove in that last.
Yeah.
What?
yeah. Yeah.
What? I'm
It's
going
sitting
back.
on the shelf in the
Fuck
back.
it, I'm
isn't it?
going back.
It's hanging off the wall.
There it is.
Oh, yeah,
there
right
it
up there.
is. Motherfucker.
There it is. That's so great. And I'll look at it
the
again.
door even bumps it.
Yeah, it shakes.
We'll do
What
it
a-
again. I love it. We'll
Wow.
do it again.
What a little. Because they used Evil Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm.
It kept the back and
Payback.
forth for a while though.
Yeah, it's great.
What do you
the-
mean? What do you mean they used Evil Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street?
The movie they're watching that first time they go over to Tina's house
Oh.
Was Evil Dead 2.
No, it was Evil
It
Dead.
was
But
the
Evil
first
Dead
one.
1. Evil Dead 1. And then they had the poster in the next Freddy movie for Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. A lot of back and forth.
And the Blu-ray for this movie, they had a trailer for Brain Dead or Evil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead Alive?
Dead Alive. Yeah.
Losing it. Greg said he likes this.
Thank you, Greg.
Oh, this is a great scare. They did a great job doing the double.
They did. Fucking James Cameron bit this shit. Whatever he did, T2.
I don't think so. We just cut up our girlfriend with a chainsaw.
Look at the subtle makeup they put on him just then also, though. So you can differentiate between the evil Ash and the regular Ash. She's got like a more hooked nose and a hooked fucking...
A bit more pointed chin.
Like,
Chin, brow.
His brow, everything.
His
the
eyelashes,
eyebrow.
aggressive.
Yeah.
It's aggressive. Very aggressive.
It looks like Robbie Rotten a little bit.
Yeah,
It's almost
Yeah,
like
it kind of does.
that's awesome.
that was probably. That's probably just the midpoint between him and Evil Ash.
Right. Good Ash, bad Ash.
Idle Hand. Love it. The noises, the little creature like
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
you know
sound
what?
design's awesome.
That's all him doing that with this. Like he's like a fucking mime, a pantomime, or
Yeah.
like
The physicality, and it's almost like Buster Keaton or like those old
Yeah.
silent film stars.
right.
for real, it is. And he
Mhm.
did most of his stunts in this fucking movie, and like whenever he's in the kitchen doing all that shit, that's all him.
And then he did that flip.
flip, yeah,
That
Yeah.
flip was amazing, dude.
fucking
That
nuts.
flip was
And he, but he
awesome.
did it like 17 times.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
that's all it takes.
Jackie
he was
Chan
ripped
ain't
in
got
this
nothing
too,
on
man.
me.
Oh, he
Right.
had
Fucking ripped.
like a Spartan like diet and exercise regimen like that he was on every morning. And so thank you again. Those subs keep coming in. Oh, by the way, gifted sub, what does it do? Happy Slappy wants to know. You get to use some icons that we made, so we appreciate it, Dan. Thank you again.
Thank you,
for
Happy
throwing those
Slappy.
out there- throwing others out there. Crawling Hand. I love this. We all said this is like one of our favorites.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, that's
Ah!
right. That was a good fucking jump scare. Also, you don't see it coming. You know.
Gotcha.
Who's laughing now?
The music.
Yeah. We do not know how chainsaws work in this movie.
Classic.
What a scene. What a scene.
Yeah, iconic
You can
This-
definitely make the conclusion that he has lost it now.
Yeah.
for
it's
sure.
over.
That scene right there, and the scene shortly later, whenever he turns around laughing at the camera, those are the two most iconic scenes of this movie. You know, they
Well,
post their
it-
shit everywhere.
There was
Can't
there was a lot of
disagree. Cannot
backstory
disagree.
on him and why that the hand relationship between him is so devastating, because that's the hand he jerks off with.
Well,
So it is
Of
yeah, it's
course.
very, it's just
it's
crucial.
sentimental. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, in the novelization, you find out that
Yeah.
Bringing it
there's
back.
been plenty of
There you
novels,
go.
actually.
Yeah.
There
There's
we
probably
go.
been about 50
The
of them.
name the hand
That's
was
a
named
fucking
Sam.
callback. Good job, Jack.
Handy
Jeez.
humor. I love the
Dude, look at
hands
those
going-
fucking mouse holes. See, this has become like an old cartoon.
It
Right.
has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even the music sounds like fucking Looney
Yeah.
Tunes.
There it
It
is.
sounds like Tom and
Yeah.
Jerry.
You son of a
Son
bitch,
of a
did you hear him?
bitch. Yeah,
It's fucking Stay Tuned is what it is.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, dude. The cartoon in Stay Tuned is legit good.
Oh,
David
it's
and I
so good.
had way more fun than we deserved to watching that movie.
Yeah. that
No,
was
man.
fucking
Everybody
awesome.
deserves all the fun for that movie. That movie's the shit.
It's amazing.
The walls. Oh, I love this.
The bees. I mean, the walls.
To me, this was very.
Look,
Three
all
Stooges.
of us have
I
turned
love
red because of it on the thing, on the chat.
Just so absurd.
Ocean sprays new cran.
This was actually the last scene shot.
Yep.
I believe it.
Yeah, they destroyed the set. So, all right, best part of the movie, most iconic, next to the one we just saw with the hand coming off, the cracking up. It's a Three Stooges movie. I swear to God. Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That is
That's
not a
cool
moose.
puppet.
That is not a moose. That is an
That's a
elk.
cool puppet.
That was an elk.
Not a moose.
Evil elk. That is not the Pixar mascot.
Yeah,
It
right.
actually is. It's the Pixar mascot's dad. That's the most iconic scene ever. You say Evil Dead, you mention the whole franchise. That's the fucking image that people fucking see.
Looney Tunes on acid.
No, whenever he fucking did the
100%.
face and the camera.
That's the review said.
That's the money shot right there.
The girls, Bobby Joe is in the couch doing the cushions right there. And,
That's awesome.
Forget the other one's name. She's back there running one of the clocks or something.
Yeah. I just love that. Like I said, that's just so much fun. Like whoever said it before, it's an acid trip. It's just so great. Ted Raimi. Gotta give it up to Ted.
Ted Cockamamie Raimi. Dude.
He
You know
kills
those
it.
with all the shit that
contacts
Ted
fucking
Raimi
hurt their eyes. What was that,
went
Hobby?
through-
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. With all the shit that Ted Raimi went through while filming this movie, I don't think John Batista would have lasted day one on set, going through all that makeup.
Eyeball.
They did that and fucking Drag Me to Hell, yeah?
Y'all ever get the feeling
I
this
think
movie
they
could have
did
been
something
awesome in
No,
3D?
they did that
3D?
with the
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
gypsy. Yeah.
They did with the gypsy woman in her garage whenever she was fucking out there trying to get rid of her.
I didn't even realize that was a callback. Yeah, it was a total.
What did you
callback.
say, Jared?
Y'all ever think this movie could have been really cool in 3D with some of its effects?
Absolutely.
Especially the blood and the way the
Not at this
explosions.
time. Did you watch Jason 3D in actual 3D?
Oh no, I never
Jo-
saw Jason in 3D. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, but not
Okay,
Jason.
but you still have to use the red and blue glasses, and that shit sucks.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one. That
Thanks
one
for
that was
reminding me.
a little
I gotta
before
buy
my
some
time.
of
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even the fucking Jackass 3D movie, whenever you bought it on DVD, they made you look at
Okay,
the
awesome.
red glasses.
What? Remember Jaws 3D? That one. Have you ever just gotten
Oh
a pair of
my
those
God.
glasses?
That's
and
what I
watched
said.
I
those
used to have a
movies?
3D
bad.
TV for like
What?
you had a 3D man, dude. Oh god, this is a sad story. I had a 3D 50-inch and in 10 months I accidentally elbowed it.
Oh, shit.
And then
That's
I learned that physical damage is not covered under a warranty.
Yeah.
It was, and I was like, it was the first time I realized, like, I'm an adult. One of the first times I'm like, I'm an adult, and I'm gonna have to walk this one off.
Did you give it the people's elbow? Like, were you mad at the
Yeah.
TV? Like,
Tripped,
Tripped.
tripped, absolutely tripped.
Oof.
Oh, that's lame.
Damn.
it's
Anyway,
even worse, man. You should have said you gave it the people's elbow.
Yeah. It was looking at me funny. No, but yeah. But anyway,
Cutest thing ever.
I just thought it'd be cool to watch this movie in 3D. That's all. That's all.
When did that happen? So when did this guy turn into a deadite? I missed it.
That thing in the cellar is
That's the best practical effects in this whole movie. They put somebody's grandma down in this hot ass basement.
Things that were and shall be again.
It sucks because he doesn't last very long. He's a great demon.
Evil
Mouth,
Ed.
man.
Eating that hair.
Nom nom nom.
He's got a lot of teeth.
Dead-eyed Ash. This is when you can kind of see him moving around all janky like. Fucking love it.
When did they use the term Deadeye first? Was it at the very end?
At the end
Army
of
of
the movie.
Darkness, I
first?
think.
Very first one. I mean,
Was it in the first
No,
movie?
no, in the Army of Darkness.
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't
They called
give
it-
him a
they
name
called
until
it
Army of
No,
Darkness.
at the end of this movie, the guys in a suit of armor say we have to kill the Deadeye.
Deadeye.
Oh yeah, save us
But
from the
Gotcha.
Army of the Deadites.
I wrote Blonde Bath, but it's a bloodbath. I don't know where I wrote Blonde Bath.
That sounds like an IPA.
Oh,
This guy almost died right
Blonde bloodbath.
So that's a great story. This guy was literally down in the hole, upside down like that whenever they started squirting the blood out, and it all rushed back into his face and got in his nose and almost drowned him. So
So he-
That was the
basically
first
using-
take. That was the first take.
He was basically being waterboarded with fake blood.
yeah, terrible, but awesome looking.
But the good thing is he did say where the location of the bomb was.
Right. You will never get the information from me.
All right, here's the other iconic.
I
Yes.
think this is the iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Evil Dead.
this-
yeah.
Absolutely.
This is his ascension.
Got all those cut shots.
They linger on it a little too long, is all I'm saying, though.
Ah, it's magical, man.
No, at the very end, whenever he says it, that's beautiful. The whole montage. Great, great. Amazing. It's a great fucking scene.
And the holster.
Yep.
Yep. Cut right there. You should have cut.
Perfect.
It's like fucking 2 seconds earlier.
I'll swallow your soul.
Hey, I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul.
Swallow this.
Bruce Campbell was built like a shit brick house in this
Yes,
movie
he
too.
is.
So badass.
Brick shit house.
Like a brick shit house.
I think you have it the other way around. Brick shit houses are built after
I'm
Bruce Campbell
joking.
in that movie.
All right, here's the big old head. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Looking like Pac-Man.
That's cool looking.
Oh,
All right, the boomstick. So we're getting at the end of this. It looks so bad flying in.
Last minute.
Slam.
And they put bottle rockets inside the barrels of their shotgun so the sparks would
Oh,
shoot out.
nice. Hail.
Jeez.
Hail. Here it is. Is that Sam Raimi?
That's what I thought also.
Oh
yeah,
my God,
I
you're
didn't
right.
look it up.
His helmet's fucking.
yeah. Three
Yeah,
times too
sure.
big.
This very much has a Planet of the Apes ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
He sees like the Statue of Liberty. And
Damn you! You
What
made
have you done?
You
But
blew it up!
but it fits that page in the
The
In the
book,
book.
yeah. That was written by a 3-year-old girl, apparently. That was a really bad drawing.
It's so true.
So
Like,
bad.
if anyone, I think everyone caught that like immediately that it was him. Like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, talking about you.
Yep.
All right.
It's so weird. There's a stick figure drawing of a man with a shotgun and a chainsaw in a hand. I wonder who that could be.
In a blue
Weird.
cardigan. How many
Yeah.
blue cardigans were back in the 1300s?
All right, guys, we got some recommendations after the clips. First one I'm going to go with is this movie, which we will watch eventually, Cabin in the Woods, which
Oh, geez.
I feel is a direct reference in every way, shape, and form to Evil Dead 2. The first one kind of, but the second one way more.
It's every horror movie ever.
That's true.
It's an awesome homage.
Yeah, this movie
Chainsaw,
is...
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's
everything.
Oh shit, that's
It's
one of the
such a
fucking
fun
Hemsworth
movie.
Have you not seen
Shit.
Cabin in the Woods, Ethan?
Dude, I haven't seen 90% of the movies we watch.
Oh,
so
that's one of the
good.
Hemsworth brothers.
Oh, dude, you are gonna
The
love
Hemsworth.
this movie. So I
Motherfucking Thor.
I
Look at
have
that
this-
cabin
Yeah.
looks just like it.
yeah,
Future Hulk Hogan.
guys, I
Yeah,
cannot
dude, what is it,
wait.
next year?
Cannot wait to watch this with you. This will be so much fun. So, Cabin in the Woods, definitely. If you've never seen it, go check it out. I don't want to give away too much, but this little thing right there will give away a little bit. So, yeah, think again. You don't know what the movie's about. Whatever you thought it was about, it is not. And it is such a good watch. And for everyone who's seen it, you know what I'm talking
Look,
about.
I'll tell you right now what this movie is about.
No, don't do it. It's
Okay.
It's about
My bad.
freaking...
It's about the cabin in the woods, bro.
it's about the cabin.
Yeah,
in the
you're
Woods.
right.
The second movie
And a stoner.
I will suggest is this, if I can get a good clip of it. There we go, Gremlins 2. Yeah, simply for the fact that it takes everything the first movie does and turns it on its head. It becomes super meta. It's super hilarious.
Throw it out the window.
Just throws it out
Great
the
movie.
window. They say, we're going to take the first movie, we're going to use almost the exact same structure, and we're going to take it to 11 and make fun of it the entire fucking time.
I love
And-
all the individual gremlins that
Oh,
they
yeah.
created for this. It's so good.
Yeah.
I have the neck of Spider Gremlin.
Oh, yeah,
That's
dude.
fucking
Nice.
awesome.
The Spider Gremlins where it's at, dude. I
That's
fucking love it.
badass.
Hey, Duck, can I do a recommendation?
Absolutely.
All right. This recommendation, if you have Shudder, you should definitely go check out The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. He does one of my favorite Evil Dead ripoff movies of all time.
What
And
was
it's
it?
from I think the first season. And the movie is called Demon Wind. It
What the fuck?
yeah, it came out in
Demon
1990.
Wind.
And I rented it. Hey, David, you'll like this. I rented it from a Blockbuster
Nice.
in 1995, and for whatever reason I liked it so much that I wanted it for Christmas. I can't believe it. I found it at a Suncoast. And it wasn't hard to find. Like, I was at a Suncoast in December at Concrete Mall and I found Demon Wind. I was like, that's way too easy to
Nice.
it's got some
Is it Emilio Estevez in it?
That
they
looks
got-
like
I will tell you this, it does have one very special cameo.
Is that Kevin
Uh,
Bacon?
Kevin Bacon.
No, here's the truth. In the movie, there is one demon who is absolutely 100% played by Lou Diamond Phillips. That is
Hell yeah.
100% true.
Lou Demon Phillips.
Yeah, his credit is like some anagram of his name. It's pretty funny.
Lad.
Lou Phillips. I think it's like Lou Phillips. Seriously, yeah.
Why is this girl screaming? What is going on in this
It's
movie?
a crazy movie, man. It's a survival demon movie, just like Evil Dead, but it's not even.
Have y'all seen Escape
this-
from the Bronx?
Look at this insanity. No, I have not. What is Escape from the Bronx?
Yeah, well,
It's
But
like
I
Escape
think that's
from
a
New York
that's a
ripoff.
fun homage.
It
But it's on
is.
Last Drive-In.
it is.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
With that said, anyone else have any recommendations?
Think we're good.
I would this isn't a horror movie, but I would recommend what's his face's new comedy special, Bo Burnham's
Bo
new comedy
Burnham?
special. Yeah,
It is
Inside.
so fucking good.
It's amazing.
Is it
It's
pretty
amazing.
creepy, or is it just good?
It's at times it gets pretty dark, but it's very uplifting, but it's also very much like it's great because you watch it and you go, oh, I'm not the only one, that has fucked up dark thoughts. And the last year was also hard on people that are successful, and are privileged and rich. It was also devastating to them too. So, but it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Fuck yeah. All right, guys. David, where can they find you on the internet?
Stop Motion Nightmares on the Facebook, Children of Dave on the Instagram, and at the Addison Improv this Thursday night at 8. It's gonna be awesome. Killer lineup, kids.
Yeah, come check that out. You can find us You can find us on the web at wearepodcast.podbean.com. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, wherever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, Jake, and Hobbs, breaking down pop culture. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Reverend Ethan Eastwood, breaking down pop pop culture. I'm drunk.
Pop game culture.
Thank you.
Things.
I appreciate it.
Pop-
Portal.
pop-
Go listen to the Portalcast. It was pretty good.
Portalcast was fun.
Break down popcorn culture.
We have Heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest where we play some D&D. And you can find us every Monday here for Camp/Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past. We want to say thank you to everyone who was in the chat today. Happy Slappy 70. You've been here the whole time. Really appreciate it. With that said, you can check us out next week. What is next week's movie? I think it's Fire from the Sky, but I don't know. Oh, no. We will find out. Yeah, I think that's what it is, but we will find out what it is.
Jake, I've never seen it. I am really excited to
so
watch
good.
it.
Yeah,
What's
so
that?
Very,
Fire in
very
the Sky?
disturbing.
Fire in the Sky.
Never
I
seen
think
it.
that's next week.
I'm gonna
Wow,
be busy
dude.
next week. So
Little
Yeah.
DB Sweeney, little Craig Schaefer.
Yeah.
Oh man,
gonna love
that's a winning combo right there.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, but we'll find out and we'll let you know. We'll put out the calendar for the next couple weeks here. We got some great movies coming up. With that said, guys, thank you so much for being here and talking Evil Dead 2. We will talk Army of Darkness next month, and then we will finish this off with the Evil Dead remake the month after. So we will get there.
Fucking reboot is so good. The
yeah,
remake
yeah.
is so fucking
And
good.
they just announced a sequel movie, so The Evil Dead Rises, I believe, is what it's
Yeah.
So-
Is it a sequel to the 2013 movie?
No, it's a
No.
sequel to the original series.
It-
So it's
Wow.
going to be
Army of
a-
Darkness.
yeah, it's a sequel to Ash versus Evil Dead.
Ash
so it's-
versus Evil Dead, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
no
love
Bruce
that
Campbell.
that
No,
series.
no
That's
Bruce
good.
Campbell. That's what they
Oh,
said.
he's gonna cameo or something. He always fucking shows up. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I heard he's coming back as Mysterio.
I would be down with that.
Ooh, man. Ooh.
Ugh.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That's a meta burn, bro. That is a meta burn.
All right, guys. With that said, I'm
Low
going to
blow.
cut this. And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp/Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore. Heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.